First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Detroit Lions. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
This is brought in at the 21. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Lions will take over. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me.
Operating from the gun, Williams. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Alert 3, alert 3.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. The officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Looking to throw. Williams. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now they try the right side here. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
From the gun on third down. Block. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. And connecting here with DJ Shark. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
On first, here's Washington. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Williams looking to throw on 2nd down. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A give, the first man through, Gillespie, the fullback. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Probably a bit of a surprise call there on 1st down, but how about a tone setter for the drive? Picking up nice yardage with the big man setting the tone physically.
Check 43. Blue jaw Corker.
From the 31, Locke. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Hey, Orbit.
Throwing his lock on third down. Throwing left side, it's complete. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On 2nd and 11 now. Lock. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. On 3rd and long, it's Lock. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Williams to throw again. Williams loses the football, and the Texans scoop it. And they are going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
2 seconds to go, first quarter.
Let's get off the field,
And again this time to the tailback. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, let's go.
On play action, Lock. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Lock. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of the back.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And it's now 3-0 Texans. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
On second down, it's Washington. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be third down.
It's now third down and 4.
Watch the pass. Short. Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50. All day, dog.
Williams now. From the gun, he'll throw. He's going to launch it for Washington. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can. It's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
To throw it is locked. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. They look to throw. It's locked. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Hey, team 6, team 6.
From the gun on third down. Lock. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 33. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially given 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out.
Look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Fair. Hey, Delta. Lucky.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Locke, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Texans on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, Charlie. Ready.
Locke working out of the gun. That's complete to John Ross. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On 1st and 10, here's Locke. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Hey, Haywood.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's
I am.
miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Let's go. 10 Tucson. Leo. Hey, Alpha. Tighten up.
No, Mike 52.
Hey, Zoo.
3rd and 2, Locke's going to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline.
Back up. First and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Let's go. Slam. Rotate. Spell. Mike set.
You ain't doing nothing today.
Now Williams operating from the gun. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Williams. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Mike 51.
To throw again. Williams. That one complete. He finds Shark. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. That one complete to Hill. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
So they're able to make things level just before half and also leave very, very little time on the clock.
And I love the way that you phrased that. Brought a little soccer into it, and that's really apropos considering they just kicked a field goal to tie things up.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men.
Come on, fellas.
So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
At the 23-yard line.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Watch tight end. 3 down, 3 down. Yo. I got you. 51 the mic, boy. 51.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
They'll run on first down. McFarland, and they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Here we go. Fight now to Wolf. 51. I'm coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo! Watch, 51. Focus, defense, focus.
2nd and 13. Incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Rip right, rip right. 35, 35, watch 35.
Williams from the gun, he'll throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 37. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Lock going to throw. Over the middle. And it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And now it's 3rd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball. And we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And that is incomplete.
But has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And we will remain tied here in this 3rd quarter. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
Williams loses the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On 2nd down, Washington. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in a long-distance situation. You might come back again, because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down.
coming to you. He's coming to you. Motion. Hey, hey, hey. Go, Mike. Zoom, zoom. Hey, stop.
Here's Williams operating from the gun. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 39 yards there, a big one.
First down, Houston.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
6-6, pull it high. All right,
Lock now on 1st down. He's got Fuller. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. And between the last 2 plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field. Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And same result. He's going to take this just to the line of scrimmage before running into a brick wall. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Lock now on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans have taken the lead. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard. Line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
21. Here we go.
Mike 51. Mike 51.
He don't know no better.
The first throw here for the backup Garoppolo. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
I got you.
Reset.
21.
51.
They run from the shotgun with Washington. They get 8 yards back there. They could use another one of those now on 3rd and 7.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And looking at Houston defensively, they've got a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd.
21.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And this one into the hands of DJ Chark. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the second time. We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Sometimes those punt returns can yield some unnecessary roughness penalty.
Now, I know a lot of guys, when they run a long way to execute a block or make a hit, they're going to launch it no matter what, and it can often cost them.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now they'll run it on the toss. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
When I watch plays like that, I give a lot of thanks that my DNA did not make me an offensive tackle, because that is a very difficult job, to hold your block against a really good defensive end and hang on to it so your runner can get to the edge and do it without holding. I don't know that that's really possible for very many people.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The Texans on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Texans on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now this time, Locke will throw. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Locke now. Perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, Orbit.
Throwing on 1st down is Locke. Oh, no, he lost the football. Another costly turnover, their second of this second half. And earlier when I asked you your keys to the second half, you said, hey, it may be trite, but I think it's turnovers. That's coming to fruition.
It certainly is, and let's face it, they named the game after it, right? So isn't it the most important thing?
It's football.
Exactly. They named the game for it. Take care of it.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Mike 50. Hard.
Locke to throw on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
90 Wolf.
Here we go.
Rush in.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Locke, he'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And now the throw taken in by Chark. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
At the 14-yard line.
Here we go.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Over the middle, hauled in by Chark. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down.
First down. 1st and 10.
Here we go. Like 80!
Let's go one more.
12, fellas, here we go.
51's the mic. He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
Hey, Echo.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Washington's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a 1st down. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And now Garoppolo lost the football. They'll call it. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. We don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense, great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Hey, man. Watch the boot.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
51.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. He's going to launch it for Washington. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Detroit. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining.
Let's go. Let's go.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the 1st down carry. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Ready? AT Gator.
Double dog, that's the way.
Lock to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Here we go.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They're down here in a one-score game. And at the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. An incompletion, now a short pickup. That's not going to do it.
Yeah, you've got to get to the line of scrimmage quickly, get set up, and aim downfield.
Here we go.
So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there.
Check curls.
Back to throw, Garoppolo. Open man right side is Shark. And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
They'll look to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Oh, a lot of contact right there. No call, maybe got away with one.
What are you doing questioning the contact on that play? Let them play. And, you know, it's a late-game situation. And I think that probably played into it. The officials, they want to let the players determine it down the stretch.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
11. I got you.
Check.
Hey, Charlie.
Mike 51.
Garoppolo to throw. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Now Garoppolo. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Garoppolo to throw for it on 4th. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Texans are going to win the football game.
Ready.
55. Check 55. Mike. Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the buses.
Ready.
Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll.
Here we go. 8 read.
Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium. That's certainly a